welcome to another edition for week 6 of Miami Dolphin football. Feels great. Finally. What a difference a coaching change can make. The Miami Dolphins dominated the Tennessee Titans in today's game. And they actually showed motivation, desire to produce something different than what's been produced so far in 2015. We were able to establish a ground game, pass rush. And that made it possible for both the offense and defense to control at the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins, they had 1 sack before this game. They had six by itself today. 6. And I know this is the Titans, but the Titans are, much improved from before. The Dolphins had scored zero rushing touchdowns before they arrived in Tennessee today. Today, we had 2. Credit today's game has to fall on Dan Campbell and his staff. At least for this game, they turned the team around and made adjustments to produce a victory. Just want to give you some of my thoughts on, some players from the game. Tannehill, 22 of 29, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs. Now, I think he played very well situationally and made exceptional plays when the team needed him. Late in the game, when the Dolphins needed to seal the deal, Tannehill led the team on a long drive, culminating on a touchdown to Sims. Also able to help the team sustain drives early, as the running game brought him time to go through his progressions and deliver throws. So the guy had time. Now, but there were certain times in the game where Tannehill seemed to lose communication with his receivers. When you think of that, you think of the interception that was intended for Jordan Cameron. If I were to grade Tannehill today, I'd probably give him a B-. Running backs, Lamar Miller, 19 carries, 113 yards. He had a TD. Jonas Gray, 7 carries, 24 yards. Novel concept, right, guys? When you actually let running backs carry the ball early, they can establish the run, establish the rhythm. Throughout the last 2 weeks or so, we heard Dan Campbell that he wanted to instill toughness in this team. And that showed in the run game. The team was able to keep long drives alive, managed to produce plays in short yard situations. Again, the O-line, nothing really special, but Miller and Williams and Gray all managed to power through contact for short gains and chunk yardage. Miller, he definitely took advantage of the good blocking on multiple occasions. Definitely had some big gains there. But I think it was the determination of our running backs that allowed the offense to finally find itself. Give the running backs, you have to give them a A-. Our receivers, our tight ends, Jarvis Landry, 3 receptions, 42 yards. He had 2 rushes for 24 yards as well. Rashard Matthews, 6 receptions, 84 yards. Sims and Jordan Cameron, 7 receptions, 62 yards. 2 DDs. Juice was loose. Matthews played with great toughness. Tight ends made plays in the red zone. Kenny Stills. We even seen Kenny Stills today. So there's really no complaints that you can have as far as the receivers. I think the receivers, the tight ends, were definitely a key to our victory today. We knew that Sims and Cameron would be highly involved, given the background of Campbell, who was a tight end, and they used them to produce in red zone situations. Camerons and Sims each caught a touchdown. And they were tight end blocking sets and multiple formations, and which used them to get involved throughout the afternoon. When you look at Landry and Matthews, they were also utilized, I think, great in this game. Landry was able to run the ball effectively. Matthews developed a knack for holding on to the ball even after the contact. Kenny Stills was involved, sending a pass deep his way early, which was key in the second half. We the Dolphins, let's not make a mistake. Let's make no mistake about it. We definitely have an abundance of weapons in the passing game. What else do I want to touch on here? Even if there's nothing else to touch on, it was a great game. Definitely a great game. A game that we needed. Defensive line, let's speak about that. Cameron Wake, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. This is what we expected to see earlier in the season. Plenty of pass rush against the Titans thanks to Cameron Wake, who seems like he had a new life. Maybe it was the extra week of rest, or it could be a change in the scheme, but either way, he was dominant this weekend. 4 sacks, forced 2 fumbles. He was making plays over the field, bailed out the offense following turnovers, preventing Tennessee from scoring. I think he is definitely your MVP for today's game. Sue was more involved today and drew resources when blocked. You wonder why Tennessee wasn't able to generate a ground game. That's because of Sue. That defense, swarming. So, a lot to build on. Can't ask much more from than what you had today. I don't think it's fair to hold the Dolphins to this standard going forward. At least from one game, however, it's clear that Dan Campbell is, hell bent on producing a team that could compete each week and will work to dominate physically in each matchup. Great week. Let's enjoy this victory. Until next time, Miami Dolphin fans, fins up.